following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the World Heavyweight Championship. From Death Valley, weighing in at 305 pounds, the Undertaker. Introducing the challenger from Manhasset, New York, weighing 231 pounds, Chris Jericho. Sold-out crowd is on its feet here in St. Louis, Missouri. Michael Cole, here with Taz at ringside.
I'll tell you, Cole, these WWE fans are so fired up, I'm having a hard time staying in my seat.
I'm with you on that, partner. We've got a great show here tonight for these St. Louis fans, and I can't wait to get started.
Nice quick counter.
And here's a little something for the fans. That's why they love him.
You know what? But who cares what they think? All he's doing here is giving his opponent a chance to recover.
We've seen an excellent match so far, and it's not over yet.
Not by a long shot, Cole. And that's a good thing. I don't think we could ever get sick of watching these superstars go at it.
Me neither, partner. This one's got rematch written all over it. He was one step ahead on that one. I don't think there's ever been a more dominant superstar in WWE than the left.
Watch it. He reversed it. I'm glad Jericho finally shut his mouth and stepped in.
Look at these fans. They didn't like that one bit.
Yeah, well, you know what? I got some bad news for these fans. He don't give a damn what you think. Wow, great reversal. You know, there's no doubt that The Undertaker is one of the most impressive superstars.
What a reversal. Each of these competitors is looking for the slightest hint of weakness in the other.
That's the law of the jungle, Cole. An injured superstar is like a wounded animal. It's survival of the fittest.
And that also means that if you're not at 100%, you've got to be able to hide it from your opponent.
You got that right, Cole. This business is as psychological as it is physical. You can't let your opponent think you're easy pickings.
Well, I wouldn't consider any of these superstars to be easy pickings, no matter how beaten up they get. He anticipated that move perfectly.
The thing you got to remember about the Undertaker is that 50% of his style and his offense is about getting inside the head of his opponent.
Oh my, the submission hold is locked in.
And this ain't easy to get out of either, Cole.
A textbook reversal. Can he follow up?
When you see this level of competition, Cole, there is no doubt that Smackdown's just head and shoulders better than Raw.
I couldn't agree more, Taz. Raw has some incredible superstars, no question about it. But they just can't compete with Smackdown's finest.
Come on, Cole. I know you're just trying to be diplomatic, but you can't seriously sit there and say that there's anyone on the Raw roster you'd want to have here on SmackDown.
No, I'm 100% serious, Taz. Can you imagine having Triple H or Batista or Chris Jericho on Friday nights? That could take SmackDown to the next level. He saw that one coming.
I'll tell you what, right now, it is a good thing that Chris Jericho pays his bills by wrestling and not...
And there's the reversal. What an incredible match we've seen so far.
And it ain't over yet, Cole.
It sure isn't. I think these superstars could keep going for quite a while longer.
3. 4.
This is just dumb, Cole. You don't win a match by taunting your opponent to death.
I disagree, Taz. Getting the crowd on your side can be a huge psychological boost. That reversal might stop his opponent's momentum dead.
Man, I'm telling you, from my in-ring experience, trust me, you can cut this tension with a knife.
I don't think you need in-ring experience to feel the tenacity rated.
I feel like a real jerk when somebody counters you like that. It's so great seeing these athletes compete here tonight. I had a feeling they were going to wind up against each other sooner or later.
There were times when it seemed like it wasn't going to happen, but I can't tell you how glad I am that it did.
That's for sure. You know, anytime you throw these kind of combustible elements into a match, you're guaranteed to get a hell of a show.
And that's exactly what we're seeing. What a counter that was.
2. 3.
It's not easy maintaining this type of intensity week after week after week, Cole. Trust me.
I don't doubt it, Taz. The WWE superstars don't get an off-season. They compete every week until they're not physically capable of continuing.
Man, his opponent looked like a punk with that counter. Boy, there's the reversal, Cole. Let me tell you, Cole, I spoke to these superstars before the match, and I ain't never seen competitors more fired up and...
Judging from how this match has gone so far, Taz, I have no trouble believing that whatsoever.
Here's the pin. This could be it. And there's the counter, Cole. He's going for the pin, Cole.
1, 2.
Wow, I thought he had the pin for sure. I want to know when he's going to start fighting like a man and stop playing possum. He wasted no time going for that pin.
2.
Wow, talk about cutting it close. That was almost 3.
He's bleeding all over the place. This one's getting ugly.
It's definitely not pretty, but it's definitely effective, Cole. Look, here's the deal. You make your opponent bleed, and you got the psychological edge over him. Case closed.
Maybe so, but I'm more concerned about the risk to his physical well-being now that he's been busted open.
He slipped out of that one. Man, look at these superstars. You can't ask for a better example of what makes Smackdown so great.
You sure can't. Smackdown's got the greatest superstars in the greatest matches for the greatest fans in all of sports entertainment.
2. 3.
Man, there's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears shed in that ring over the years.
5.
And if these superstars have their way, there's going to be a lot more shed here tonight.
That was a textbook reversal. I love hearing the crowd come alive, even when I don't exactly agree with what they're saying.
Me too. And I do agree with what they're saying, Taz. What a submission maneuver. You must be familiar with this one, Taz.
Yeah, I've been on both sides of it, Cole. That's the truth. And let me tell you, it's better to give than receive.
What a rare treat it is for us to see Chris Jericho competing live and in person. We don't have many chances to see this phenomenal veteran in action, what with him being a great reversal.
This is one hell of a performance by some amazing superstars, Cole.
What did you expect, Taz? This is Smackdown, after all, the #1 brand in sports entertainment.
He dodged that bullet. Jeez, what a match. I got no idea what these superstars are going to do next.
That makes 2 of us, partner. And I think that's one of the things that makes it so exciting. Nice reversal.
Man, I'll tell you what, man, this one's just turned into a fight, pure and simple.
We knew it was going to be intense. We knew it was going to be physical. But I don't think anyone was prepared for this.
I gotta admit, it kind of took me by surprise, Cole. That don't happen too often.
That's an understatement. You've been in hundreds of matches in your career. We both called hundreds more. We usually have a pretty good idea of what to expect, but not this time.
I guess it just goes to show you, Cole, like they say, anything can happen here in the WWE. Man, there's not an ounce of quit in these superstars.
There certainly isn't. They're in this one to the bitter end.
This one could still go either way, Cole.
It sure could. It's not over until the referee calls for the bell. Here it is, Taz. He's building up a head of steam, and he's about to let his opponent have it.
I'll tell you what, if his opponent's got a brain in his head, he'll get the heck out of there. These WWE fans just can't get enough of these superstars.
And I'm glad to see it. A WWE match isn't just about competition, it's also about entertaining the fans.
Okay, well, if that's the case, how come they got you as an announcer? I mean, that ain't exactly great entertainment, in my opinion.
You might be right, Taz. I think it would be extremely entertaining to listen to you try to call a match all by yourself.
It's obvious these superstars have studied each other real carefully, Cole.
No question about that, Taz. You won't last long against an opponent you haven't done your homework on.
If you ever wondered just how much punishment a human body could take, I think you're going to get an answer tonight.
You might be right, Taz. It doesn't look like these superstars are going to go easy on each other.
That's not what they're getting paid for,
One.
Cole. And besides, they got too much pride to give less than 100% in there.
1, 2, 3.
You look at any other sport in the world, and you won't find a single
4.
athlete that can compare with a WWE superstar.
And there's a reason for that, Taz. There are no off-seasons here in the WWE. If you're a superstar, you're performing every week of the year.
And we're not talking about just swinging a bat or kicking a ball, neither. WWE is the most physical competition you can be part of, hands down. This guy might not have enough to kick
1,
out.
2, 3.
Oh, man, he's fading. I had a feeling he was going to pull this out, Cole. He might have gotten a pinfall, Cole, but I'd be real surprised if we didn't see a rematch.
Here's your winner,
I'm
and
with you,
still
partner.
the
And I think
world
these fans are
heavyweight
too.
champion,
Well, I hope so, Cole, because when the fans speak, the WWE listens.
Undertaker.